Hello, I'm Dick Hoagland, the Mayor of the City of Willmar. Today, I'm inviting you to look at a new issues program that we are giving you in the City of Willmar. We're concerned about the public knowing more about the City of Willmar and what it has been doing and is doing for you. It wasn't too long ago that we had a leadership retreat, and it was held on February 26 and 27. In that particular time, we were trying to establish what we have done in the past, what we are doing presently, and what we are going to do in the future. After all, Willmar is a growing community, and thank goodness we can look at goals and we can look at achievements for things that are going to happen in the future. We want to be sure what happens in year 2020 is what is going to be built for in Willmar at this particular time. Some of the things that we looked at in our city issues was a review of the progress that's been made in the past. We've been thinking about enhancing the major issues, updating goals programs, and reviewing and discussing challenges. All of this brings to the point that we try to inform the public, our citizens, more than ever of what we are trying to do in the City of Willmar. Not sitting down there on a weekly basis or a twice-a-month basis, but we're actually working for you and enhancing the progress of the City of Willmar for the future. The workshop that we did have was excellent. The participation was good. All the people that were involved, including the department heads, did a good job, and I think we came out there looking at the betterment of the City of Willmar, and this is the thing that we're trying to give you. We're going to bring you 10 issues that we discussed up at the conference, and those 10 issues will be discussed by the City Council and what they have been doing. I hope that you trust that you listen to all these 10 issues, and if you have discussion or something to talk about or write about, let us know what you think. Thank you for listening to us.
Hello, I'm Councilman Steve Amon in the 3rd Ward. I live at 615 23rd Street Southeast in the Pheasant Run on the east side of town. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 1, and that's to provide a long-range vision and workable plan of action for the greater Willmar area. Of the goals that we felt we decided needed to be addressed at the retreat, after a very lengthy discussion, we came up with 5 action steps. The first one of these action steps is to identify the issues facing the city. The second issue was to develop broad-based community consensus on the issues by making a presentation to the community for review, clarification, and/or expansion of the issues. The third action plan was to define and develop a goals program complete with plans of action for various issues based on community input. Number 4 was the assignment of tasks and delegation of responsibilities for implementation. Number 5 was to continually assess and evaluate progress being made on particular tasks and activities. Thank you very much. We appreciate your input.
Hello, I'm Verna Kelly, Councilman in Ward 2. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 2, to continue to provide quality public services in the most cost-effective manner. The Mayor and City Council are continually faced with losses in local government aids, which always occur halfway through our budget year. Since we know that the state is moving toward eliminating local government aids, we are constantly looking for ways to reduce costs without reducing services. Examples of what we have done are the changes in the dispatch center and civil defense. Our action plan for this particular goal includes reducing our reliance on consultants for the city's businesses, re-examining the city's organizational structure to reduce duplication, keeping pace with technological advances, ensuring high-quality employee selection, training, and development, encouraging creative and innovative methods of providing public services, and analyzing the privatization of the city's services. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Councilman Steve Amon in the 3rd Ward, and today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 3, to expand and promote quality industrial and commercial growth for the city and the region. At a recent retreat in Alexandria, we came up with 5 points or 5 action plans to accommodate these issues. Number 1 was to expand the city's marketing efforts. To expand the city's marketing efforts, by the way, we have a very great city with a bright future, and to maintain a strong job growth, we have to continue marketing the best parts about our city. We have to continue our existing funding for promotional literature that shows all of our strong assets in our community. We also, with the help of the volunteers who serve on the following committees: the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Kandiyohi County Economic Development Partnership, the Willmar Opportunities, and the Chamber of Commerce, we can continue to sell our city as a great place to live and start a business. The second item was to make airport land available for industrial park expansion. Our current industrial park land is nearly full. To continue our plan for future growth of businesses is only good planning. To accomplish this goal, we must reactivate the Airport Advisory Committee to continue a viable site for future locations of a new airport. Once the site location is selected, we can then use the existing airport land for business expansion. The siting of a new airport has to be very carefully planned to fit in with the city's jobs growth and with the growth of our businesses. It has been a very controversial subject in the past. It is still not completed, and we will definitely need every one of you people to give us your opinions on the matter, and we would appreciate those comments. Item number 3 was to expand the city's business retention and expansion efforts. Our city's community development department will have to take a more active role in communicating and planning for business expansion. Opening up the doors to new ideas with new and existing businesses is a must. How can we as government work to retain jobs in our community? There are several things we can do. First, we can visit with businesses and ask them what their needs are. Number 2, we can monitor the job growth and the job loss to better prepare ourselves for changes currently being done. Also, the Kandiyohi County Economic Development Partnership has to continue its efforts also on monitoring the job growth and the retention also. They are another right-hand arm of the city, and we need their support. Item number 3 is communication. It's a must. Without communication, we're not going to get anything done, and that definitely is going to be part of the solution to our problem. Item number 4 was to continue our investments in the Industrial Initiatives Program. Since 1987, we, the taxpayers of the City of Willmar, with the support of the Rice Memorial Hospital, the Municipal Utilities Commission, and the City of Willmar, have invested $850,000 in job and business expansion. We hope to continue this, but we also have to monitor the wages paid by the investments that we are giving to these businesses. We're hoping that in the future, the Community Development Department and the Community Development Committee will work with the different groups that I mentioned earlier to accomplish this goal. Creating jobs is important, but we also have to make sure that those jobs are good quality jobs that pay a livable wage. If government funds are used to create jobs, we should review what wages are being paid, and only then can we as government be proud of what we have helped create. Item number 4 was to further enhance the Community Development Department's computerization. Our Community Development Department has recently purchased a computer to help us in our marketing efforts. We need to acquire new technology and software programs to get the good word out about our city and what we have to offer. We will try to budget for these items in the future to give our city an edge on a very highly competitive beast, economic development. Item number 5 was to change the name of the city's Community Development Department to the Department of Planning and Development Services to improve its identity. Changing the name is very easy, but in the past we feel this is important as the changes in the department warrant it. It will give us a new name for changes and expansion of the department with the Rental Housing Inspection Program, with the Building Inspections Department, with the Fire Marshal's Department, and with, of course, the never-ending job of economic development. That concludes my 5 action plans that we hope we can accomplish in the years to come. We will need your support. I would appreciate any comments on these matters or any ideas that you might have on continuing what the city has to do in the future to create and maintain good quality jobs. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Verna Kelly. I'm going to discuss goal number 4, to increase cooperation between the city, county, school district, and other local taxing authorities. The citizens of our community, as well as across the nation, are alarmed at the increasing government spending and increasing taxes. The City Council believes that part of the solution to this dilemma is increasing cooperation between the various taxing jurisdictions. Our first step was working with the school district on the siting of the new high school. Our action plan for this goal includes conducting a joint jurisdiction leadership retreat to develop the rationale and philosophy for why the units of government should cooperate more, to identify common issues and tasks, to determine the possibility for cooperative efforts, and to have the responsible government units direct the implementation of projects and programs affecting their jurisdictions. Thank you.
Hi again. I'm Dick Hogan, the Mayor of the City of Willmar. I'm going to come and address you another city issue, one of the things the City Council felt is very important to our community. This particular issue addresses the changing social, cultural, and ethnic needs of the community. We talked about this 2 years ago, and at that time we thought that there was a concern in our community towards the social, cultural, and ethnic needs of the community, and we have done a lot towards establishing better relationships in better parts of our community. Part of this was done about 2 years ago. In fact, it was done 2 years ago in April that we decided to have a Mayor's Advisory Committee, which was dealt with the minority aspects of the area. We have a 15-member board that meets monthly. They started meeting twice a month, but now they're meeting monthly. And the feel that they were trying to do is talk about the need for minority issues in our community, how they address them, how they can use them, and what's the best way to make the community better prepared to be culturally exchanged. We found out, basically speaking, that the board decided to go into smaller groups, such as the Education Committee. Education Committee meets Monday every month, and they decided what they want to do is making the education of the city better for all aspects of social and cultural and ethnic needs in the area. We have a building committee, and the building committee is having a particular special session on April the 22nd, and that's where everybody in the community is invited to come out and learn what's happening as far as our area is concerned in developing homes, apartments, rental units, seeing what our stock is in our community right now, where we're going to go with that. Other than that, we have the health committee, we've had the police department in their committee, and all these things are necessary in establishing a better and basic community for all of us. We all want to live and live harmoniously together, and I think that we've done a lot towards addressing this, and I think a lot of us are going to keep on working towards a better community for all of us to live in. Again, if you have a desire to talk about this, just give me a call and we'll gladly talk to you about it. Thank you again.
Hello, my name is Steve Enixon and I'm council member from the 2nd Ward. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 6, to sort out the ownership and management issues with Rice Hospital and the municipal utilities. This priority is closely connected with goal number 2, to continue to provide quality public services in the most cost-effective manner. This goal was previously discussed by Council Member Kelly. In Willmar, the people have defined that the electric utility and the hospital will be public services, in this case owned by the people through the City of Willmar. In many communities, this is not the case. The Council is committed to working with Rice Hospital Board and the Municipal Utility Board to sort out the ownership and management issues in order to ensure that quality public services are delivered in a cost-effective manner. When one looks at the city as a whole, that is Rice, the municipal utilities, and the more traditional city functions of police, fire, parks, streets, it amounts to a very big enterprise. In 1992, the combined budgets of these three entities was $72 million. $42 million at Rice, 13 at the MUC, and the balance, $17 million in other city functions. Sorting out the ownership and management issues is critical if we are to deliver public services in the most cost-effective manner. Toward that end, the Rice Memorial Hospital Board will have made a recommendation by the time this program is seen relative to the future management structure of the hospital. I do not know what that recommendation will be, but I do know that healthcare is changing rapidly. The board and the council would be remiss in their duties if we do not plan for the future and ask some very hard questions. The same questions also need to be addressed relative to the municipal utilities. To that end, the city is presently engaged in an internal study in order to determine if more efficient and cost-effective services to the public can be realized by combining some functions of the city and the MUC, or by transferring certain functions now conducted in the Public Works Department of the city to the MUC. From past experience, it would appear that whatever the City Council, the Rice Hospital Board, or the Municipal Utilities Commission recommends, it will be controversial. Change is difficult for many. It is, however, in my judgment, a primary role of the Council to plan for the future and then to be advocates for needed change. Thank you very much.
Hello. I'm Dick Alterman, Councilman in Ward 1. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 7, the city's increasing crime rate. Mayor and Council are very concerned about the crime rate in Willmar and how it affects its citizens, businesses, and the overall quality of life in the city. As the city of Willmar has grown to become a regional center for education, health care, employment, and retail sales, so has it become a regional center for crime. Increased crime, unfortunately, can be one of the negative consequences of growth. Crime rates for the year 1992 climbed approximately 17% from the year of 1991 to a total of approximately 2,450 crimes. Leading the way in this increase were criminal damage to property, theft, and juvenile crime. One positive in the statistics was that the violent crime did not increase and is in fact down slightly from the high mark several years ago. The city of Willmar and its police department are taking steps to deal with the increased crime on several fronts. Adopting the philosophy of community-oriented policing, the department has assigned officers to each ward in the city and established monthly ward meetings with residents. These meetings allow the citizens to communicate to the city what its concerns are and allows the police to enlist the help of the community in solving problems. The council also participates in these meetings to gain input from the citizens. The idea is to form a partnership between the police and the community and to address community concerns and to prevent crime and other conditions that impact the quality of life in Willmar. The DARE program, for several years now, the police have taken a proactive approach to dealing with juvenile issues by placing uniformed officers in the schools to teach drug abuse resistance techniques. This 17-week program is taught to 5th graders and is well received by parents, school officials, and the kids themselves. And it is designed to help the kids to be able to resist the pressures to use drugs and will show success by decreasing drug and alcohol abuse and criminal activity by our youth. The East Side Substation, 2 years ago, the police department received a grant to establish a substation on the east side of Willmar. During its first year, crime in the area was reduced approximately 25%. relations have also improved, as the incidents of damage to police vehicles and threats to police personnel have decreased. Because of the success of the community policing project, the council has decided to continue its funding with the police budget now that the grant funds have run out. The council has also directed the police department to investigate increased hours of service at the substation. We also had a department restructuring to place more officers on the street. The city had entered into an agreement with the county to take over all dispatch and record-keeping functions within the county, and this change has allowed 2 licensed police officers who were assigned to dispatch duties to be reassigned to patrols. The council hopes that these actions will have a positive impact on the increasing crime rate in the city of Willmar. As dealing with the crime rate was our 7th highest priority goal, we will continue to monitor the situation throughout this year and beyond, and we will do everything we can to ensure that the city of Willmar remains a great place to live, work, and raise a family.
Hello, I'm Councilman Steve Amon in the 3rd Ward of the City of Willmar. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 8, and that's to provide revenue enhancement opportunities for the city. By the way, this was the only other top priority that nobody else wanted to talk about, since it's an issue that is met with controversy. But in the never-ending changes of city government, we have to consider all our options. Leaders and managers at all levels of organizations in both the public and the private sectors are being challenged as never before. In the public sector, government officials and professional staff are faced with the dilemma of meeting increasing service needs with limited funding capability. It was pointed out that in the 1990s, increased emphasis is being placed on individual leadership and leadership development within organizations. What is revenue enhancement? Well, it's looking at another way to help pay for government services, or in short, user fees. Rather than raising taxes for everyone to provide a service, only the user will pay. With the never-ending threat at the state capitol on local government aid issues, we should carefully consider another way to pay for city services. It's either that or raise taxes across the board. I would appreciate hearing your thoughts on this matter. Thank you very much.
Hello, I am Bruce D. Blake, Councilman in Ward 1. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 9, to provide an expanded community information and public relations program for the city. Some of the ways the Council has tried to meet this goal has been with the community information meetings regarding city budgets and spending priorities, which have been held over the past 2 years, and also the community policing program. This is where friends and neighbors come together to discuss issues and concerns in the neighborhood and work on problem solving. One of the first major issues coming from a community policing meeting is the curfew ordinance, which will come before the council on April 7th. And also the expanded use of RAC 8, the Willmar Regional Access Channel, with a new coordinator and soon to open studio. We will see expanded cable casting of city issues and events. And also this form here, city issues, to bring issues before the community that are facing the city. Some of the things you may see in the future is the use of computers and electronic information to access such things as postings for meetings and places, times and dates and minutes, and various community resources and information. As the city continues to grow, there is a general need to communicate issues that are facing the community and help us with the many exercises of problem solving. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dick Halterman, Councilman in Ward 1. Today on City Issues, I'm going to discuss goal number 10. That is to reactivate the Airport Advisory Committee. The Willmar Airport runway must be totally reconstructed within the next 4 to 5 years. Last year, we took a Band-Aid approach and put an overlay down. The life expectancy of the overlay is 5 years. Last year's work was approved by the state for funding because we were in the planning stages of construction of a new or expanded airport. Another overlay would be very questionable. The cost of a new runway would be about $2 million. If we put a new runway down in the present location, we would still be flying over our populated areas, and that would be for at least 20 years. Our present runways are in an east-west direction, which is not a desirable situation for pilots or the city, as FAA and the state aeronautics recommend a northwest-southeast direction. If we keep the airport at its present location, we will not be able to put an instrument landing system in, almost a must in modern airports. We don't have many options, and doing nothing is not an alternative. We can rebuild the present runway, we can relocate, or we can expand. Those are the options we have. But we also have another problem, and that is we're going to have to address the problem of our terminal. And that has to be barrier-free according to the American Disabilities Act. Now, for those of you who have visited that terminal, I'm sure you're aware of the condition it's in. And it would take major, major construction and probably prohibitive cost on a very, very old building. What I'm saying here is that we would most probably have to have a new terminal or whatever to take its place. Armed with the state's designation as a key airport, and the state has designated Willmar as a key airport, and the knowledge of its usage, and its usage is high, and the financial impact on the community, the council must, and I say must, continue to move forward and must reactivate the Airport Advisory Committee. Time is running out. 4 to 5 years to try to even get a new runway reconstructed is short notice. So what I'm saying is that we should have a timetable, and we should address the airport problems, and we should start now.
You have just reviewed a presentation by the Willmar City Council regarding the issues that they have deemed necessary for the continuation of the city government. They have given you 10 issues that they have thought was deemed necessary, and look at the city of Willmar for the future. As you can probably see, the program itself is never going to win an Oscar or even be nominated for an Oscar, but I think that you can see that the city council members are interested in presenting to you a comprehensive idea of what the city is facing in the future. These ideas are brought up at the retreat, and these ideas are brought to you so that you as the public can look at them, hear them, and then make comments on them. We ask that you do make comments on them by talking to myself or talking to Mick Schmidt or any of the council members. At the city office, the telephone number is 235-4913. Come down any day or stop by the city offices at 333 Southwest 6th Street. We are interested in your comments and hearing from you. Thank you for viewing with us, and be with us again in the future as we plan another city issue program for you.